Hello, let's get started on our reading interactive notebook. So if you will please grab your reading and grammar notebook and your plastic snap close envelope. And I'll go grab the camera. Okay, so we have our reading and our grammar, and we've got our plastic envelope. So inside our plastic envelope, I'd like you to grab out this piece that had the restate the question stapled on top of it. And we're going to go all the way back to this last page. It says answering questions, RACE. We're just going to rip that off. Put this back in. Okay, make sure you put everything back in there and snap it so we don't lose it. All right. And we're going to grab our scissors. And we're going to just cut out around. See? Cut out around, and then we need to cut the little doors open. Okay? All right. It won't be very long, so we won't worry about the music. Okay. You guys have been learning so much this school year. I'm very proud of you. It's very exciting to keep being able to keep working. Although it would be so much better if things were normal. But, you know, you guys are doing really well for how weird this year is. We're going to cut up the middle. And then we're just going to turn it and cut these little doors so that we can open each door. All right. All right, so when you're finished, then you have your little doors that you can open. Okay? So we're going to go back to reading in our notebook there. We're going to go to the very last page we did, which was the story Back to School. So let's turn the page. We've got that spelled out there, so that's going to be super helpful today. All right. Get a little glue here. All right. So get that glued in there. If you need some more time, go ahead and push pause. All right, so this is just going to remind us what RACE stands for in answering and asking questions. It's one of our strategies. All right, so let's start under R. Okay, so we're going to say that the R part of it is to restate or re-say part of the question in your answer. So we're going to have to go right under that. Put a little. There we go. Restate or re-say part of the question in your answer. Now I know it's right here. So if you need to, you can look at your book to keep copying it. So what I mean by that is, you know, have it open here and I can see, and I'm just writing the same thing down. Okay? So if you need to, you can just keep copying it out of your own book. All right, and then we're going to go to A. A stands for answer all parts of the question. Okay, Answer all parts of the question. So maybe it might say, what was the problem? What was the solution? Remember, we talked about that yesterday. Our thing is pretty easy today. Go ahead and push pause if you want to, or just look in your book on the other page right here and just copy it right over. Put that right here. Next, we're going to go to C. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't make you dizzy going back and forth. Okay, C stands for cite your evidence by including parts of the text in your answer. It's a long one. Okay, go ahead and get that written down. And E stands for explain your evidence. Explain your evidence. Okay, so you're going to tell why you picked your answer, why you picked that to be your evidence to show, citing your evidence by including parts of the text in your answer. You're going to explain why you used it or what it means or how it shows the answer to the question. All right. Okay, so if you need to keep writing, go ahead and push pause now because I'm going to move on to something else. All right, so go ahead and push pause. Okay, so eventually we can say, if you're going to ask and answer questions, you need to be able to race to the answer line. Okay, so R, restate or re-say part of the question in your answer. Who went to visit Aunt Peggy last week? Last week, my brother, my sister, and I went to visit Aunt Peggy. There, I included part of the question in the answer. Answer all parts of the question. How are you going to get home from work, and who is going to drive you? So there's two questions there, and I need to answer both of them. I'm going to get a ride with Margaret after work. So I said who I'm going to get a ride from. I've included what that person's going to do. Then C is cite your evidence by including parts of the text in your answer. So if my story is talking about being bored, maybe. So it's like, how can you tell that the character is bored in the story? You might be able to say, I can tell that the character is bored in the story. There, I'm using my restating it. And I'm going to answer all parts of it. Yeah, because he said, all I'm doing is laying here staring at the ceiling, and I wish I could fall asleep, but I'm not even tired. There's nothing fun to do. So there, I've underlined some parts of the story so I can include that in my answer. And so as I'm writing my answer, I'm going to write down all those reasons. And I'm going to explain, because he feels like as tired and bored as he is, he could just go right back to sleep. Because he said, so when you underline the parts of the text. All right, so we'll keep using this strategy, the race strategy. And then make sure you have everything written down. Make sure you have everything written down from yesterday, which these are the same ones we wrote under the race. And once you have all of that done, you are finished with your reading interactive notebook for this week. We're not going to do one for tomorrow. All right, guys. So if you'd like to pause and be able to see this right now, go ahead and pause. All right, and that will do it. So make sure that you've gotten everything written down and glued in, and I'm going to see you over in our Envision lesson. Thank you.